Hello everyone and welcome to another interview from me. Today is going to be a little bit different because I'm interviewing Lucy. Hi Lucy, how are you?
I'm good, hello.
So Lucy just graduated and I'm interviewing Lucy less about her career because she's not had very long to have had a career, though she is doing brilliant things now, but to talk to her about doing an internship while she was an undergraduate with us in York. So Lucy, maybe you could tell us a little bit about the internship that you did and what it involved.
Yeah, so I did a digital events internship with York Archaeological Trust, and it was basically working to make digital content for their online festival, because they normally have the Viking festival. With COVID, they had to take it all online, and I think they've realised that that digital way of interacting with the public is really important. So they took me and another intern on to kind of help plan, film and edit all these videos about Viking Age York. Yeah.
Brilliant. So did you bring technical skills to that internship already?
Yes. So they asked for kind of digital skills in like camera work and knowing how to edit, which luckily I had, which is great.
Yeah.
But they also, it was, I think they chose quite well because I came in it from a very, I know how to do that on the side, but then they got another person from the film and TV department. And so we complemented each other really well. She kind of knew the really, really technical stuff that I hadn't been trained in the same way, whereas I had the archaeological perspective. So it was a really big learning experience for both of us. So yeah.
And what was it like kind of on a day-to-day basis? Did you have someone who kind of explained what you had to do and a timetable of things they expected you to do over the day, or was there a little bit more freedom?
It started off pretty guided with our kind of leader. He would kind of talk about what he wanted us to do, and then there'd be a lot of time of us talking about ideas and kind of like storyboarding and stuff like that. But then I think once we got more comfortable with what we were doing, there was a lot of freedom involved. I think it was really nice that we were so trusted. I think there was no kind of like really severe mentoring or anything. I think once they knew that we could do it, we had a lot of freedom to kind of sort it out within ourselves, which I think it was so beneficial. No micromanaging or anything like that. So it felt very independent, which was great.
Yeah, that's great. So you started off with a bit of structure, but then as you learned and went through the program, you got a little bit more independence. That's great. What other skills do you think that you got from your internship? What other kind of things do you think coming out of your internship, perhaps specifically to the internship that you did on digital skills, but perhaps also some of the transferable skills as well?
I think this is quite broad, but I think like using everything that we learn in our undergraduate in a professional environment, things such as like writing reports and pitches and stuff. I was comfortable doing those because we'd done presentations and we'd done reports and self-analysis and stuff, but putting that in the context of a specific project and actually having it go to someone in the big boss office and stuff, that was definitely a big skill, kind of like having the reassurance to apply that to specific things. So that was a big one. Gosh, I don't know. I think definitely learning from the other intern. I think that was something that I didn't really expect, but like I said before, we both had strengths where the other one wasn't as good. And so spending 3 months with that other person, learning from them, and I think that was really good. And yeah, working in a small team, because we both were the same role, there couldn't be any like competitiveness or anything like that. So working in a small team, definitely that was a big skill to have.
Yeah, fantastic. So how did you find out about this internship and go about applying then?
So I've made an account on Handshake, which I think is the Uni of York work website, and I was looking just for part-time work anyway, and then I got a job in the department, which was amazing. And then from that, I think word of mouth as well as seeing it on there, it's super easy. It's kind of like Indeed, the same premise of you can just scroll through and see all these jobs and then they say what they need. Really simple layout, and you just apply. I think you hand in your CV as like a separate document, and then they literally give you questions to answer, and they say how long the answers need to be. So it'll be, what skills do you have? 100 words approximately. So it's super easy to apply. Just fill that out and send it off.
So did you write it out and edit it and then put it into the boxes? Did you get anyone to read it, or did you just fill it out and send it off?
Yeah, so I've definitely got my family to look at it. Just in a separate document, I just copy and pasted the questions, and kind of my technique for anything, I just rambled on all the stuff I wanted to do and then cut it down to all the really concise stuff. So yeah, and it wasn't long. It didn't take super long. So I mean, I did that while I was doing my dissertation and my SS seminar and all of that, and it was fine. I could fit it in.
So did you have an interview? What happened next? Did they shortlist you and you come to an interview, or did you hear about the job straight away?
Yeah, so I came for an interview. So after handing my application, I came for an interview, and I think there was about 10 other people that they interviewed, and it was really nice because I got to go in and have an interview in person, which seemed quite
big change after the year that we've had. Yeah.
So that was really nice. So yeah, just a short interview, really kind of going over what the questions asked, kind of focusing on what you want to gain from the internship, and pretty general interview questions. But
I think that's a really good thing to say, that often people do ask what do you want from this role, and what do you want to gain from the role, as well as what you can bring to the role. And particularly for an internship, which is training, I think thinking a little bit about how it might fit into your ambitions is probably important for the interview.
Yeah, definitely. There was quite a big focus, which is nice, because it felt like they were very much aware that they wanted to give us something in return.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's great. So I'm guessing you would recommend an internship. Would you recommend it?
Yes, absolutely. I think I've really kind of underestimated that, how useful that is to get, especially into a career such as heritage, which is kind of difficult to get into anyway. Everyone says it, and I remember watching videos about people being like, go for any opportunity, but honestly, like, you can't go wrong. It's like nothing bad is going to ever come from trying something, and if you don't like it, you don't like it, but at least you've got it there if it does go well.
So what tips would you advise students who are watching this now, perhaps in their first year, second year, third year, about looking for internships?
I would say a big thing is like dealing with the imposter syndrome, because you'll go in and they'll be like, oh my gosh, you're so young, born in 2000 whatever, and you'll be like, oh, okay, like maybe I'm too young for this, but you're not. And a lot of the time, the skills that you bring, you're there because they need someone with those skills, because we're from a different generation. In my case, the digital stuff. I think you get imposter syndrome because you think, oh, this is quite natural to me. Like, I don't feel like I've got any major skills, but you definitely do. So don't think you're not qualified enough, or like, don't let that imposter syndrome seep in, because you're there for a reason. If you get an interview, don't be like, oh, it's just an interview, because they've chosen you. So just believe in yourself.
I think actually you expressed that really nicely, the tendency to say, well, this is natural to me, I do this all the time, therefore it's not something I value very highly, whereas someone for whom that's not natural to is going to say, I think that's an amazing skill, or that's a skill I value very highly. So it's a really nice way of expressing it. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, Lucy, and talking through your experiences with the internship. We will link Handshake below for any York students who are interested in doing an internship while they are here. Thank you very much to Lucy for joining us. Thank you very much to you for watching. Join us again soon for another video about archaeology careers.